Dear children, welcome back. Kurukshetra is not just a battlefield. It is a place where promises come to die, where teachers face students, where brothers raise weapons against brothers, and where destiny finally speaks louder than choice. Before the war begins, before the conch shells blew, before the dust of battle rose into the sky, the world gathered its greatest warriors. This was not just a war between two families. This was a war between dharma and adharma, between duty and desire, between ego and truth. On one side stood the Pandavas, fighting for justice. On the other stood the Kauravas, fighting for pride and power. And between them stood warriors whose names would echo for thousands of years. Yudhishthir, the man who never wanted war. Yudhishthir was born from Dharma itself. From childhood, he believed, truth protects better than weapons. He ruled Indraprasth with fairness. The people loved him, not because he was powerful, but because he listened. Then came the dice game. He lost his kingdom, his brothers, his wife, his freedom, and still. He did not raise his voice. Children often ask, why didn't Yudhishthir stop? Because for him, keeping one's word was greater than winning. Now on the battlefield, Yudhishthir carries a terrible burden. If he wins, thousands will die. If he loses, injustice will rule forever. He does not fight with joy. He fights because running away would be a lie. Yudhishthir is proof that being good is harder than being strong. He lost everything, yet never lost himself. Bhim, the storm born to break. Bhim was born from Vayu, the god of wind. His strength was frightening even as a child, but his heart was simple. He loved food, he loved laughter, he loved his family, until poison was fed to him, until fire was set to kill him, until Draupadi cried in the court. That day, something changed. Bhim took vows that shook the future. To break Duryodhan's thighs, to tear apart Dushasan. Bhim does not fight for strategy. He fights for unfinished pain. Every step he takes on the battlefield says, this war should never have happened. Bhim teaches us, anger is dangerous, but silence in injustice is worse. When Bhim gets angry, destiny trembles. Arjun, the warrior who put down his bow. Arjun was born from Indra, king of gods. He trained harder than anyone. He focused when others slept. He became the greatest archer the world had seen. And yet, on the battlefield, Arjun lowers his bow, because in front of him stand his grandfather Bhisham. His teacher Dronakarya. Arjun is not afraid of dying. He is afraid of becoming the reason for others' death. That is why Krishna chooses him, not the strongest, not the wisest, but the one who questions his own actions. Arjun fights only after understanding. Doing nothing can also be a sin. The greatest archer who refused to fight. Nakul and Sahadev, the silent pillars. Nakul was beauty with discipline. Sahadev was wisdom with silence. Nakul mastered swords and horses. Sahadev understood time, fate, and stars. Sahadev knew how the war would end, but was cursed to stay silent. Imagine knowing the future and being unable to change it. They fought not for glory, but because family stood before self. They remind us, not all heroes need applause. The warriors who spoke least, but stood the longest. Draupadi, the fire that lit the war. Draupadi was born from fire. She did not choose war. War chose her. Her humiliation in the court was not just an insult. It was the breaking of Dharma. She did not ask Krishna for revenge. She asked, is this justice? The war exists because her question was never answered. Draupadi fights without weapons, yet every warrior fights because of her. She never lifted a weapon, yet started a war. King Drupad, pride that created fire. Drupad was once Drona's friend. When Drona humiliated him publicly, Drupad's pride shattered. Years later, he performed a yajna, not for wealth, but revenge. From fire were born Drishtadyumn, to kill Drona Draupadi, to change history. One insult, one yajna, and destiny changed. Drishtadyumn, born to kill his teacher. Drishtadyumn was born knowing his purpose. He trained under Drona, the man he was destined to kill. No hatred, no confusion, just acceptance. He is destiny walking in human form, trained by the man he was born to defeat. Shikhandi. The key to the invincible Shikhandi in his last birth was Princess Amba. Wronged by Bhisham's vow, she vowed revenge. Reborn, she became the reason Bhisham would fall. Bhisham could not fight her, not because he was weak, but because his own rules trapped him. The warrior Bhisham could not raise his bow against. Born to a hero, trained by legends, but destined for tragedy. Abhimanyu learned the secrets of war before he was even born. While still in his mother Subhadra's womb, he listened as Arjuna explained the deadly Chakravyu formation to his mother. But destiny played its cruel game. Subhadra fell asleep before the lesson was complete. Abhimanyu learned how to enter the Chakravyu, but never learned how to escape it. Still, when the moment came, this young warrior did not hesitate. Surrounded by the greatest warriors of the Kaurava army, armed with broken weapons, fighting against unfair rules, Abhimanyu fought like a lion cub among wolves, not because he thought he would win, but because retreat was not in his blood. His fall would become the moment that turned war into personal vengeance.